Hello, and welcome to the Q3 Pexip Partner Update. I'm delighted to be joined today by our CEO, Trond Johannessen. Thank you very much for joining us, Trond. And to be here in the PEX studio. This is a testament to the investment that Pexip is making in all forms of our technology, none other than us being able to deliver effectively, more efficiently to our partners and our customers, and also internally. This is the new PEX studio, which is in our headquarters in Oslo, and perhaps, Trond, you could talk to us a little bit about what that means for us as a company.
Yeah, we decided to spend quite a lot of money building a brand new studio here in Oslo. We are doing it because we are communicating a lot with our partners, with our customers,
Yeah.
with our own employees.
Mhm.
And the demands on us to do that in a professional way, almost like a TV show type of way, they're increasing all the time. So
Yeah.
we hope that we will be able to sort of meet at least partly those demands now with this brand new studio.
Yeah, I think it's nice to have a different way of communicating. You know, we've done so many webinars, and they talk about webinar fatigue, don't they, these days? So this is maybe a different way for us to communicate and a little bit more effective. So thank you again for joining us today. Normally we do these updates to our partners on a more of a regional basis, where we can be a little bit more product-centric focused, maybe regional focused. But today we felt that it was necessary for us to do more of a global update. It'll be a much shorter session where we can really talk to you about our strategy shift, why we're doing it, and therefore the structure changes that we've had to implement in order to support that strategy change. So Trond, let's jump in. 6 months ago is when we first started talking to the market around why we needed to shift, not so much technology, but really our go-to-market messaging. Perhaps you can maybe give us some more insight as to why we decided to do that, and what we were seeing in the market that led us to do that.
No, the whole pandemic completely changed our industry. The market grew tremendously. Pexip grew with it. We noticed that in our core use case, which is the interoperability use case, the connected spaces area, as we call it, we were touching on a whole lot of different adjacent areas where our customers required slight adaptations to our technology,
Yeah.
sometimes brand new technologies, sometimes brand new use cases. So we noticed that in particularly two very specific areas in the secure spaces area, where the need for very confidential meetings, confidential meeting places where critical information was to be exchanged, there was a specific need for technology to solve that. And the second new area was within video innovation, where we are working with retailers, with public sector organizations, with all sorts of different customers to assist them in the communication with the customers
Sure.
or
More of a
users.
workflow, kind of business to consumer
Being
type.
an
Yeah.
integrated part of the workflow
Sure.
to a much larger extent than just when you are recording a meeting or being in a pure meeting environment.
Yeah, because it's very clear that video communication in general, the pandemic just made that so acceptable now. The
Correct.
business is now saying, well, how do I actually reach my customer more effectively with video communication? Well, we're now shifting a paradigm, and Pexip's technology, the way that it's built, lends itself perfectly to that kind of environment, I should suspect.
Exactly. So we decided to set up a whole specific solution area around what we call video innovation to do exactly what you are describing. Looking at the different verticals within that space, looking at the judicial area is one particular example. We have things going within the health sector, where we also have some very specific solutions. And we are looking at the retail business to consumer settings where we are contributing to the customer journey.
Okay.
So this is one integrated pillar of our new strategy.
Yeah.
And then we talked about the critical meetings, the secure spaces, which
Yeah,
is the
huge.
second one, which is not really new, but what we're doing is that we are giving more attention to customizing that product area so that it becomes relevant in the wide variety of use cases where it's going to be utilized.
Yeah.
And then the third, which is basically the first pillar,
we started,
which is the interoperability case, the connected spaces. That's where we're coming from. That's where we're continuing to be strong. We're working closely with Microsoft, as you know, to integrate different hardware solutions with the Microsoft Teams solutions. And we're doing even more of that than we have done historically.
Yeah.
So that's kind of 3 solution areas within Pexip that are not entirely new, all of them, but we are now very clear and focused within those 3 areas.
And cyber vulnerability being key for that secure spaces.
Exactly.
And public sector really being the sort of focus area, although it's not only for that, right? Where there are other verticals where that becomes very necessary, like mergers and acquisitions in finance, for example, pharmaceutical, clinical trials, that kind of area.
Correct.
Great. Okay. So the three pillars, as we keep calling them, and have done since October, we have secure spaces, connected spaces, and video innovation. Great, that's our new go-to-market, and the messaging is going to be very clear and concise around that, and the products and solutions that will start to come out from us will lend itself towards those three areas. But for a business to be super successful, once they really are clear on what that go-to-market is, it's clear that there needs to be a structure in place to be able to support that.
Yes.
So Pexip has gone through some shifts, some changes to its structure in order to do that. Can you talk to us a little bit about what that means for us in terms of internally, but also how that will affect us being more effective with customers and also our partners?
Of course. The three pillars or the solution areas, that's a way of organizing our technology and tailoring, customizing technologies for the different use cases. In terms of going to market, we are organizing ourselves more towards the customer groups that we are working towards.
Sure.
So we will have public sector as a specific focus. We will have dedicated squads going after the public sector customers within the different parts of the public sector space. We will have the same for enterprise. We will have dedicated squads working on the Microsoft integrations towards enterprise customers and to cater to their specific needs. In the video innovation space, it will also be specialized, salespeople, marketing people, channel resources that will work to cater to the needs of those customer groups.
And I just want to focus or spend a couple of seconds talking about this structure change, because the squad change in the market, it's not new. We're not kind of reinventing something or inventing something that's not been out there before. But why do we feel that it's relevant for us in terms of how do we make sure that the squad structure, if you like, why are we doing it this way and not just having the normal sales, channel, marketing, business units that we have? We still have them in our organization, but why is that relevant for us to have it much more dedicated?
It became very clear when we did the refocusing of the strategy last year that it requires a different skill set.
Sure.
To be working within the public sector, within enterprise, and also what these different customer groups are demanding from us are different things.
Right.
So we need to be specialized. We need to be able to meet our customers, our channel partners, the whole community with the knowledge and the experience of someone and the understanding of the pain points, the understanding of the use cases that particular customer group has. We had a tendency to be too much, all things to all people.
Yes.
Broad, generic player working with interoperability across a broad range of industries.
Sure.
And I think what the world is turning towards now is more specialized players being, a mile deep and an inch wide instead of the other way around. I think that's what we are seeing, and we are reacting to that requirement that's being put on us from the market side.
And I think that's really important for a whole business to understand that, because having your sales messaging in one way, but then maybe your customer success team not dedicated in that same way, or even your technical resource not dedicated in that same way, the messaging gets lost, the customer focus gets lost. So in this way, we're making sure that all of our core business functions are aligned to that customer journey, to that customer messaging, and then ultimately to the products and solutions and the way that we go to market through our channel.
Exactly. So everybody will be pulling in the right direction. Towards the customer. The customer will be in the focus here.
Fantastic. So this is the interesting part then, leading on to the partners, right? Because what does this mean for the partners? What are the types of partners that we're looking for in this new kind of shift for us? And where do we see those partners being specifically successful?
The specialized strategy, the way we are going with the solution areas and the business units and the squads will also potentially put different requirements on the partner network.
Yeah.
To be specialized, we will be working with specialized partners within the different verticals that we are addressing, within the different customer groups that we are working towards. That doesn't mean that there is no room for generic partners. Then we have very strong partners that are working across a broad spectrum of industries and verticals today. But I believe we will also see growth within a segment of the partner network that will be more specialized in certain verticals and industries.
Yeah, I think so. I think if you talk along, a lot of my peers and other vendors actually talking around this same thing, that the partners that are successful are the ones that are getting, as you say, inch deep, mile wide. Is that right? not sure, other way round.
Mile deep.
Mile
at
deep,
least, yeah.
that's right. They're the ones that are focusing and being very verticalized specific. So we're looking for partners that are strong in public sector, that have a good public sector background, that are delivering products, services, solutions to those. Also, obviously, when we talked around the connected spaces, those organizations that are providing products and services across maybe a wider breadth at that point, because it's around interoperability. But then also, as we move to video innovation, those partners that really want to build bespoke solutions where they can become super sticky in those customers.
Correct.
Because at that point, you're not just providing a solution that Joe can provide down the road, you're providing a complete workflow integration that once you're in, you're super sticky. So those are the types of partners that we really want to be focused on moving forward.
Correct. And being embedded into the workflow and the customer journey and the systems
Sure.
of your client gives a stickiness and a completely different dynamic than being a supplier of a relatively commoditized set of technologies. So this customization journey that we are embarking on, hopefully together with the right partners,
Yes.
is something that we believe very strongly in going forward.
Okay, fantastic. So Sean, just to finish off then, kind of, you're the new CEO coming into Pexip. Great to have you on board with us. A really interesting, exciting time for us as an organization. The market, it's changing, it's exploding in various different areas, but also those specialized partners that we're going to focus on moving forward. For you as a CEO into Pexip right now, for the three things for the rest of the year, what are the three kind of major initiatives that you are really doubling down and focusing on?
Now it's about getting the growth machine going. We are growing in many parts of our business. We have some areas that are more challenged where we're seeing commoditization. So focusing on really getting the growth back on track in all the areas. Second, growth has to be profitable. And profitable growth, companies that grow profitably are the ones that will be most successful in the long run. So that is clearly something that we are spending a lot of time on these days.
Sure.
And I think sorry?
No, carry on. No, the two there, I almost got you in. Keep going.
No, and the third one is that we are now, and this is a very short-term focus, we are gathering all our 500 employees here in Norway next week.
Yes,
and for the summer camp, getting everybody aligned around the new strategy and the new focus areas. And that's taking a lot of attention and energy. We're really looking forward to have everybody here together.
Good, and hopefully we'll get some partners over here at the back end of this year as well. Okay, thanks very much for that, Trond. Great to have that discussion with you. We're now going to hand over to the global heads of our video innovation unit, our business unit, Leighton Hughes and Jordan Owens, to talk to us today a little bit about what partners can see coming out of that business unit over the next couple of months.
Thank you, Nicole. So, hi everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. So, I'm Leighton Hughes, and today I'm joined by the one and only Pexip legend, Jordan Owens. Good morning, Jordan.
How are you, sir? Good to see you. I was thinking to myself that pink is definitely the color of the day, and so it's good to see that you got that memo.
Yeah, fantastic. So, right, this session, let's talk through this session, what we're going to achieve. So, I'm going to initially take you through Pexip's innovation strategy, give you a snapshot of our roadmap, a first view on how we'll support our partners with solutions, products, and enablement to help you succeed in driving video-first digital transformation for your customers. And ultimately, Pexip are investing really heavily into this space from an R&D, product, engineering, and a sales perspective. So, why is that? And ultimately, what we've seen is the world has changed. The pandemic has changed the way people work, how organizations enable and drive their workforce, but also how organizations need to modernize and streamline how they connect with their customers and how they drive into new markets. So this digital change journey, if we can call it that, has really driven a huge new market opportunity for Pexip and, importantly, our partners. So what we know is there's new demands for how video needs to be integrated, embedded into organizations' processes, workflows, and operating software. Whether that's a healthcare organization looking to schedule a consultation directly from the native patient record, a retail bank looking to schedule a mortgage advisor, a financial advisor appointment from its secure customer management portal, or an engineering company looking to support remote engineering field workers with live video through its IT service management platform. And deep integration really helps drive this successful workflow. So we are definitely seeing more and more use cases appear which require a secure, agnostic and highly customizable platform like Pexip to solve these integration challenges, right, and these complicated workflows. So this changing market is playing directly into Pexip's core strengths. So we're framing this as a move from video for meetings to video for missions. And we'll explain more as we go through this session. So ultimately, our ability to allow customers to virtualize complicated physical workflows is already proven in judicial, in healthcare, in government, in enterprise, through consumer engagement. So we've got a proven track record. Now we need to enable our partners to succeed in this space as well. So Jordan, before we, look more deeply into the product solutions and integrations, perhaps you can run through why our technology is so unique and what differentiates us in this space.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So let's dig into the technology a little bit, because it's super important to start with the right platform, with the right technology, before you worry about adding on any of the user-facing stuff on the top. Because if you don't start with the right platform, that house will fall, so to speak. And that's obviously not the way that we want to go about it. So you all know us very well for what we do inside of what we call connected spaces or video interoperability. You may know us quite well for what we do inside of this secure spaces or secure highly managed meetings. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. There's a lot more content that's available around that. Happy to get into that with you at some point if you like. But right now we're here to talk about our video innovation pillar, right? What is video innovation? It's really all about helping our customers, our partners, use video to reach out better to their clients, their suppliers, people external to their organization that they need to talk with in new and different ways. So in order to do that, there's three key technical pillars that we built on in order to make sure that we can build the right solid foundation. First and foremost is this idea of transcoding. Now, why does transcoding matter in this conversation? Fundamentally, because you have to make this talk to that. And those two things don't necessarily talk to each other. How do we allow the user to have the flexibility to join from whatever device they want? And today, that's mostly recognized in video endpoints or computers or tablets or mobile phones. Tomorrow, that's going to be recognized in wearables or purpose-built TVs or using completely different devices than we've ever used for video. And we need all of those devices to all work together seamlessly. Second is this idea of agnostic infrastructure. Now, what does that mean? It means how do we build a platform that very quickly and very easily integrates into whatever else that customer or that partner has at their disposal. That could be CRM systems, that could be help desk systems, that could be contact center solutions. Wink, wink, we've got more on that later. That could be all kinds of other things that customer already leverages for their outbound communication today. And how do we then integrate in with that as well? And third, it needs to be built as a platform so that those customers, those partners, can take the core technology and customize it and extend it any way that they want. So what does that mean? Let's dig into that a little bit, because as it turns out, there are three different levels of customization associated with that conversation. Number one, super simple, super straightforward, just a branded experience. How do I take the native out-of-the-box Pexip experience, but replace all of the logos, all of the color schemes associated with that experience, and use the customer's logo, use the customer's color scheme, use the way that they want that client to appear. We have all kinds of tools and really easy ways that our customers and our partners can take that back-end platform and apply their own customized branding, so the user has no idea that they're meeting on a Pexip meeting, because quite frankly, that's not what they want to do. They want to meet inside of their own meeting. Number two, how do I take that branded experience and extend it out into some lightweight integration capabilities? And this is done with a plug-in mechanism that we have. So think about that from the perspective of, I have a language translation service that I need to integrate in with. I have a recording solution that I need to integrate in with. Maybe I have some other medical records solution that I need to integrate in with. How do I put a plugin that looks, feels, acts, and behaves as though it's natively included within that solution and allow that video capability to automatically extend out? And number three, where those two capabilities are not enough, Pexip has a number of APIs and SDKs at your disposal so that you can take the core engine of what we have and build your own car around it. Maybe you need this specific workflow or that specific user experience, or you already have an app and you just need to embed video within it. Our APIs and SDKs allow you to do that simply and seamlessly so that you don't have to think about it any way, shape, or form. The bottom line in this conversation is that our capability, that our technology is built to integrate with the tools and the workflows that you, the customer, you, the partner, are already leveraging. And we don't want to pretend that we have the right answer for any of this. What we do believe is we have the right back-end video platform that can very easily integrate within those tools so that you can use them better, so that you can leverage them better, and you can connect with them better as well. How can we very easily add video into your workflow? That's what we've ultimately brought to the table. So that's the technical background, right? So Leighton, back to you real quick. Help us understand what this means from a go-to-market perspective.
Yeah, so, I mean, great question, Jordan, right? And I think for us, the go-to-market is, as it's always been, partners, partners, partners. And that's the most important thing here. So Pexip have always relied on our ability to build a wide ecosystem of partners, all with different strengths, different capabilities. And I think using this ecosystem to drive customer wins is going to be fundamental to our success moving forward. And from the very beginning, we've relied on building partnerships, alliances to provide interoperability. And we've relied on our partners to execute on that, to sell that, to support that on behalf of our joint customers. So, you know, we look at how we take this to market, and we know no single vendor can meet all the needs of a large organization across the various use cases, right? And Pexip's interoperability partner ecosystem will be even more important in the future as new use cases for video emerge. Working with partners is part of our DNA, and it's a core reason for our success. So we need to enable the partners, and across the next quarter, we'll be announcing several new key partnerships, you know, alliances in cloud compute, contact center, event streaming, recording, assisted reality and wearables, you know, and this all follows from a recent partnership release and announcement with Rocket Chat, you know, a great alliance that provides secure, self-hosted messaging, file sharing, and that just enhances the Pexip product set, the Pexip solution for secure meetings by providing an end-to-end solution. So more of this will come, you know, and we're working really hard to formalize it, to make it easier. So this will be delivered to our partners through a strong alliance program with a simple, easy mechanism for partners to quote, sell, and ultimately support the combined solutions, right? So Q3, we'll fully launch our new approved solution program, which ultimately gives our partners community access to workflow solutions built on Pexip technology that enhances the core video offering that we've built. And behind this, you know, we know there's layers of complexity. We know this is not always easy to understand. We know that we have to support our partners as they move towards this journey. So we've built an incredible team of engineering, developers, the brightest mind in Pexip to support this pillar, right? And they'll be an extension to our partner community where we can help with integration, embedding video into existing software and tooling, or even creating bespoke workflows for customers or verticals if there's a niche that we can help build towards. So I guess I've just got to call out to the partners, you know, engage with us, allow us to jointly investigate the opportunity in this market, allow us to speak to your customer about this digital transformation journey, and then collectively, you know, connect with your channel manager, your account manager, and they'll plug you into our innovation team. And that's, I guess, the go-to-market is we're here to help, we're here to support, and we want to do this collectively with our partner community. So probably, you know, a lot to come in the next quarter, Jordan, that we're working on, right? But maybe makes sense just to talk through some of the initial projects that we've already released in the innovation space, and tell our partners a little bit about that.
Yeah, for sure. So to me, there's two key areas of focus for us. Number one is we will continue to develop and release workflow capabilities that allow you, our partner community, and our joint customer community to consume more of our technology in a commercial off-the-shelf manner. What do I mean by that? Well, last week or 2 weeks ago or something along those lines, you saw that we released Pexip Virtual Courts. Pexip Virtual Courts is that exact capability. It is a workflow engine that allows judicial-focused customers to consume video and run a courtroom virtually using the same capabilities and the same power that they would do to run that in person. So that's a super cool thing that we've already released. But we want to do more inside that space. We want to release other workflow engines, whether it's focused on medical or it's focused on financial services, or maybe it's focused on some other technology or some other vertical that we haven't mentioned here. We want to continue to do more inside that space so that we bring more commercial off-the-shelf products in the market. But number two is this idea of alliance partners. And we've always had this approach where we knew we couldn't do it alone and we wanted to develop some level of integrated technology. But the reality is we haven't formalized it. We haven't done nearly enough with that. We haven't taken your feedback to heart nearly as much as we should. And to Leighton's point, that's exactly what we're going to be doing going forward. You already heard him talk about the alliance that we just announced with Rocket Chat. Soon we'll be announcing an alliance with Genesys and some of the things that we want to do there to bring video into a contact center application so that your Genesys customers can use the Pexip engine in order to drive a much better real-time experience. We want to bring other ones out as well. We're going to be announcing some recording and streaming partners later this year. We're going to be announcing some wearable partners later this year. These are names that I can't quite get into yet, but stay tuned. There's a lot more coming. But these are other areas where we are heavily invested in order to take this stuff further, because the bottom line is we know we cannot do this alone. We will not try to do this alone. We are just a part of a greater collaborative solution, and that's where you come in. Not only are we going to continue to help to support you in a customer enablement strategy, but we really need to get bigger, better, badder feedback from you on what we need to be doing going forward. We know we can't do it all, and we know we're not going to get it all right out of the gate. So help us learn. Help us expand our knowledge base more broadly, more quickly, so that we can do more. We really need this to be a two-way street. So with that, I'll hand it back to you. Thank you so much for the time today. We're super excited about our video innovation strategy going forward, and we look forward to connecting with you soon.
Thanks, Leighton. Thanks, Jordan. Really interesting insight into what's coming out of our video innovation pillar. And as we said, and as the guys said, we will be focusing on officially launching in a much more structured way some of the partnerships and technology alliances that we've got coming out over the next few months. So with that, I want to spend just a few moments now talking about what our partners can see coming from Pexip over the next quarter, which for us is July, August, September, and into the back end of this year. So we've talked about us becoming much more specific, much more niche, providing actual solutions, bespoke solutions for business needs, business requirements. And with that, we'll see a further consolidation of our partner base. At the beginning of this year, we really did spend some time focusing on making sure that we had the right strategic alliance partners or strategic reseller partners as well. We moved a lot of partners under distribution because that was the right thing for us to do to be more effective and more efficient in the market. We'll see a further move towards that over the coming months, and also as I talked about with Trond earlier today, the focus on those strategic partnerships, the ones that are specialized in the verticals that we really can be successful in together. Those will be exclusive Pexip partnerships, and with the build of a new partner program that we are embarking upon now, those partnerships, we call them partnerships because that's what we want them to be, right? We're moving away, I think, from a traditional vendor/reseller kind of environment. For us, we really need to be embedded together and provide solutions across all of our different verticals and across our pillars. We will be launching an incentive for just driving short-term sales, right, for this quarter, 50% discount on all Infinity products, or Infinity-based solutions, shall I say, for this quarter. And we will be working on training and sales enablement on our video innovation. Jordan and Leighton talked around the partnerships, particularly alluding to Rocket Chat. We talked about Genesys, and we will be launching a strategic alliance partnership with vBrick over this coming quarter as well. So building the partner program is really important for us for 2023. That's when we're going to launch. However, in Q4, we will be coming to our strategic partners to talk about the core competencies and how this partner program is going to be delivered. What we really need to have across our partners now is not just the scale and the access to customers. It is around the competency to be able to deliver the integrations, to be able to deliver the professional services that our products and solutions need. They are complicated in some respects, complex. That's a good thing for partners, right? Because it means that there's value to be added around professional services and managed services around our solutions and technologies. But we have to have a partner program in place to be able to drive the desire for our partners to be able to do that. So the idea around it is that discount structures will vary dependent on competency levels and obviously dependent on the revenue commitment of those partnerships as well. We will be coming over the next couple of months, probably towards the end of this quarter, actually, or next quarter, into Q4, around what this structure is going to look like, what it means for you as a partner, how you can invest in us, which means we will invest in you back, and how we can be very specific with what's right for your partnership, for your business, right? If you are specifically strong in any of the verticals we've talked about today, then let's double down there together. Let's build a solution. Let's build a partnership together there and make sure that that works for you and your customers as well as it does for us. So that's just some of the things that we've got coming for you. It is going to be a much more structured approach. It is going to be much more laser focused for us in our partnerships. But we hope that that's the right thing to do to get the best out of our customers, to get the best out of you and provide you with sticky solutions, high profitability, high growth, and to really differentiate yourselves and us. So with that, I'd like to thank you for your time today. As I mentioned, this was a short update. It is a global update. We will be coming back with a varied structure on the way that we communicate with partners over the next quarter. But thank you very much for your attention, and we look forward to doing business with you over the next quarter and beyond.